I had recorded earlier an entire intro to this video making funny remarks about the idiots in the parking lot I was sitting in, and none of it had audio. So now we're starting weirdly. We're walking into Alligator Alley Harley Davidson to pick up a 2024 Street Glide. Why is you're avoiding me?
Okay.
Say hi to the people.
Hi, folks.
What? He had to make it weird. And then the child. Everyone. So I don't know if we should do dramatic reveal. I'm not a YouTuber, so I don't. Okay, this is hilarious. All right, that's great. This is very funny. You're all very funny. Okay. So do we do a grand reveal? What? Okay. Well, they got all the colors, man. Alligator Alley's a lot bigger dealer than Palm Beach, even though they're sister stores. So they got the colors, man. They got them all. And the one we're getting is right here. So Whiskey Fire Street Glide with chrome trim. These are evidently not that easy to find. Like, there's black ones. They got a couple black ones and stuff, but the only one with the chrome trim we could find is that one right there. So we're taking her home. Just thinking the memories we have at this dealership. So Alligator Alley has a real special place in me and the wife's heart, because when we moved down here 15 years ago, so a little one's 12, we would come up to Alligator Alley as new exhausted parents, and you'd walk in this door with her in a stroller, and Beth, who we remember from when we first started the channel, he had an accident and we raised a bunch of money for her. We'd walk in and Beth would just take the stroller and walk away with her. And so that would give us an hour for me and the wife to walk around and look at t-shirts and accessories and parts, and just, you know, you're exhausted as a new parent. And Alligator Alley was great. Like, every weekend we come up here and just wander around, and they would take the baby and play with her. Like, it was fun. So this one very much grew up at this dealership. So kind of happy the bike's coming home from here. We're playing Tetris. It's closed at the store and they're moving stuff around. They're about to move all these, and then we're like, why don't you just move that one and back it out? So they gotta bring all the inventory, and look at how many freaking bikes, man. They have everything but a chrome and Whiskey Fire, because I'm taking the last one. This was your idea. You said I could do it. Yeah. It's your fault. Oh, yeah. Mama said I could do it, right? Yes. Okay, so. All right. I'm take her home on her inaugural ride. I was saying earlier, like, you know, like, we get bikes a lot, and not to be braggadocious and all stuff, but what's so cool is that, like, in 2014, when the Rushmores first came out, I came to Alligator Alley and got my Black & Cayenne Street Glide that had GPS for the first time stuff. And this is a big deal to me because this is a new generation. Like, I didn't have one. So why does she have a pocket full of candy canes? Is she stealing candy canes from the dealer? Good girl. It's part of the deal. They're throwing in the candy canes.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we have another Alligator Alley family member. Step on up there and ring that bell.
It broke down. We're taking it in for service. What's he got? What's he got there? Got a Ma Deuce in the door or what? Boy, did that weekend get away from me. So Saturday we picked up the bike at close at the dealership. I think I left the dealer at like 7 o'clock. Rode it 60 miles up the turnpike. Didn't even go to long way because we had, you know, go out to dinner and all that stuff. Just blasted up the turnpike. First off, I should stop right now. Right now, there's a guy watching who's never watched his channel before. And he's like, this is not a promotional video. I want to know about they're expecting, you know, someone to get on here and go like, the 2024 Harley Davidson Street Glide is filled with the features and technology. That's not this channel, man. I'm just a person who loves Harleys and bought a new one. So hopefully that fits for you. Anyway, so got it home Saturday night. And then Sunday, went to the parade yesterday, got home and was able to go to dinner on it, but I've only been able to put about 100 miles on it. But in my first 100 miles, I can already tell you that no matter what, when you buy a new motorcycle, you're going to have likes and dislikes. There's going to be things you love about it, things you want to change, etc. So I figure I would, before this video is even over and we go all over the bike and stuff, we'll talk about likes and dislikes. Nothing's ever perfect. So there's a few things that, you know, I'd like to see changed. So to start with dislikes, I have to say that the Slipstream boards and stuff, they're a little dated, right? I bought a 2014 Street Glide brand new when the Rushmore bikes first came out, and I'm pretty sure that's the same floorboards and stuff that were on that 14. So I think those are a little long in the tooth, and it's probably time to update those. Now, that being said, they're not ugly. You know what I mean? They're not a bad-looking stock footboard and and peg and all that stuff. But, you know, they've been around 10 years. It's probably time to dress those up a little bit since the rest of the bike is so different. I'm not a huge fan of the tongue sticking out of my back fender. Now, that's a pretty easy fix. I've already got, it's not ordered yet, but I've already looked at Custom Dynamics sells a chrome one that eliminates that diving board, I think they call it, and it's like less than $200. So that's a pretty, you know, easy change that makes a pretty dramatic difference. I do think that should at least be color matched or something. You know, that's one thing I'm not real crazy about. Everyone's like, you don't cover your license plate. What are you going to do with it? Okay, come on. Other thing, the inner fairing. This bike is tax, title, license, and everything. By the time you buy it, we're talking just kissing 30 grand, right? I feel like the inner fairing should be gloss black on these. You know, I know they used to have the special. This is not a special. They don't make a special anymore. If you don't know that, there's only 2024 Street Glide and 2024 Road Glide, right? So I think the inner fairing should be gloss black. I get, you know, if you don't want to do color match, but all these I think should have a gloss black inner fairing. You can do color matched a couple ways. Harley sells it, and of course you can get it from Paul. Of course, it's a plug for a buddy, Fairing Exchange, but he does the color matched inner fairings. He's actually on his way down for install trips he does every year. So on the way, he's going to do mine color matched, and he's going to do what they call the snow plow, which is the water cooler cover, and then this little bit here, which that doesn't bother me. What do you guys think? That little bit of black trim under the headlight, I mean, it'll look nice color match, but not the end of the world. Okay, so those are really the only things. I was like, you know, I would change that. I'm looking at it going, there's one other thing, I guess there's one other thing I would mention. The screen, my favorite thing, I love that new infotainment system. I'm very much a tech kind of person in addition to I love both knuckleheads and new technology. You know, like it, and flatheads. Come on, calm down. But that screen right there has a lot to it. It does a lot. It's got a lot of settings. It's got, you know, wireless CarPlay if you have the adapter. We'll talk about that in a later video. It does all this sort of stuff. It's not one of those things you're just going to jump on and know. So my advice would be when you buy your 24, and I'll get to in a minute why I think you should go ahead and just frickin' pull the trigger. Just get it home and sit in the garage for 3 hours with a bottle of whiskey and figure it out. Like it's not, you know, I was driving home 60 miles on the turnpike, just pressing buttons and things were changing. And I was like, I ended up, I think I was calling people, you know, like just get home and figure it out. So it's not a complaint. It's just a bit of advice. So now let's talk about why I am in a committed relationship with this bike. And I freaking So do the naysayers. What does this guy know? Well, I don't know. I mean, we're into the Harley thing. We do the thing, and one of them's not even here. I have an old shovel head. So I've bought a lot of new Harleys. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying this is the truth. I've bought a lot of new Harleys over the years. And every one of those trips home from the dealer have not been fantastic. I don't mean quality. I mean, I'm riding home on the ST, the day that I picked that up, because we've only had that a little over a year. I'm riding it home going, I hate the seat. I hate the bars. I was just building a list in my head of things that had to be changed right away. Totally different experience in this bike. I'm riding it home going, this is the best, by far, out of the box Harley Davidson I've ever had. It is tighter. It feels, I mean, foundationally, you've got a lot of similarities. It's a 117 liquid-cooled Milwaukee 8. It's essentially the same motor that was in the CVO Ultras in the past. So a liquid-cooled 117. So foundationally, I can work on it, something I love. I already know this bike fairly well. But something in manufacturing or engine, I don't know, it's tightened up. Like, I know the bike's like 20 pounds lighter. I know they made a lot of tweaks, a lot of little things. Those things add up to a different bike. Like, this thing goes down the road planted and precise. And that Batwing is completely different than previous Batwings. My dad was here yesterday with his trike, so I was looking at, I know it's not an exact comparison, but it's basically the same front end as the old Street Glide. I think this fairing rides lower on the trees, maybe. Something changed. This Batwing feels way lighter than the previous Batwing. Like, it's not that old, like, Batwing, Shark Nose, Road Glide, Street Glide, you know, that thing. We could do a whole video on that again. We've done it before, but on the previous generation, because it's not a thing anymore. Like this bike is light and nimble, and I threw it around. We went to Duffy's for dinner last night, a local pub, and I'm just like, for fun, throwing it around the parking lot because it just wasn't a thing. The front end was not heavy. So absolutely love this bike out of the box. It's really, really good, and I didn't despise my ride home. Am I going to change the bars? Sure. Am I going to change all kinds of stuff? Of course, because you don't want your bike to look like what it looked like the day you picked it up. But out of the box, taking it home, you're going to love it. Like this is a really great freaking motorcycle. The screen, I'll talk about right now. Hang on, I got to turn off my Bluetooth and the Wi-Fi so it'll let me keep my phone. You just turn the bike on, it takes over the phone. So again, I do like new technology. My wife's car, the entire dash is a screen. The entire center stack is a screen. Like there's no buttons and switches. It's all, touch screen. So I do think that at this price point in 2024, you should have a digital dash. And you do in this guy. So I turned off Bluetooth and Wi-Fi so that I could actually, oh, you know what? The fob's inside. That's okay. I know the pen. All right. So here's how I have mine set up. So this is called touring mode, if I remember correctly. So you can change the different setups. You can have it to where you have like dual gauges, and then like the center bit is your radio and stuff. You can have it to where your center bit is just like your speedo, your tack, I guess. So your, track boy, and then the outer side is other stuff. This is old man mode, which is what I like. So you've got the fuel gauge, your speedo, your gear position, your ride mode, which you can change this from touring to sport plus to rain. All these change everything. There's whole videos on that. Change all the settings of the bike and pull power so you're not spinning the tire in the rain and stuff. Of course, clock. These are flashing as the bike's off. And then I have it connected to Wi-Fi at my house, so it will actually update itself. And then over here, this cluster, you got the range, the radiator temp, the calendar for some reason, and exterior temp. And then this is where CarPlay normally is. It's not there because my phone's not, connected. But click the three lines, and you've got the main menu. So settings for the bike, which are significant. You can do all kinds of stuff. EQ, this is where you change the display, the different settings. System updates, I'm sure, which I should check and see if there are any. That you can tweak your ride modes, your radio, all that stuff. This is your main, and this is where you add your phone to Bluetooth and all that. And then you've got CarPlay if it's plugged up, GPS if you enable it. This is HomeLink, so if you want to add a garage door opener, you can do that. I think it's like $200. And back in the day, you used to cycle through the lights to like open your garage door. I don't know how it is on this one, but it's got all that. Yeah, I mean, it's everything you want to do, you can do with it, right? And I freaking love this. Again, it's 2024. These bikes aren't cheap. It should have a digital dash, right? So this is probably my favorite new feature. Another out-of-the-box thing, which is good, the lighting is better. I mean, will we change it? I don't know, because, anything that's not stock is better, right? Even if you go like a Harley aftermarket, you're still going to want to change your lights probably. But these lights out of the box are not bad. Like, look at the face. Let me turn the fairing real quick. That was violent. Go do the thing. Stay. There we go. So, I mean, it's a pretty mean looking face, right? So that lighting's not bad. These actually throw a lot of light, going down the road, and then, turn signal. Pretty cool. So the lighting is pretty good out of the box, which is totally different from previous years. The old, is that a different Daymaker? The old Daymakers I was not a fan of, so that was, sorry, I was interrupted. So other little things. I know some of you are going to think this is nuts, but these are the details that I noticed. First off, ride quality was better. I feel like, I don't know if the suspension's changed or not. Mike from Riding the Ozarks probably did a whole video on this if it's so, but this rode way better. Ride quality was way better. If you want to do aftermarket suspension, of course, always better, but I think less of a necessity out of the box for these guys because this isn't bad. This is the new stock grip. Something that simple. I like these compared to the old grips. That's way better. I love the new fuel tank setup. This is like an old sport bike. Well, sport bike's been this way a long time. No more gas cap. I love that. Get on there. That seat isn't bad. Again, I've got maybe 100 miles in it so far, which isn't much, but it's got some stitch to it. It's got some looks to it, and it's not a bad seat. I don't know. Feels better than the old stock Road Glide. That's for damn sure Road Glide Street Glide because I have my own. I mean, anyway, so that ain't bad. So someone's already asking, no, my seat, the Pro Monkey seat that's on this guy, and is it on that one? Yeah. isn't ready yet for 24s. I'm working on it, but I was actually thinking about taking a spare one I have and see what I can do to cut it up and make it fit, because I want to run my seat. But a quick dislike, or something just to be prepared for. This audio is not ready for 80 miles an hour, as it is. I placed a huge order for a whole bunch of Harley stuff when I got this bike, so I'm going to make some changes. But this audio, I mean, it's not like you're going to hate it, but you roll 80 miles an hour down the highway with loud pipes, you're not going to hear your stereo. So I would plan, maybe even work it into the deal. If you can get a good deal on one of these, I would maybe throw the Rockford audio in that deal, because you can finance it if you want to, all that stuff. But you're going to want to upgrade your audio. There's no aftermarket options yet. I hear they're coming right around after Daytona, April-ish or something like that. But for right now, the only audio option there is the Rockford upgrade. So, you know. Sorry, I keep getting interrupted. The new controls. Now, you guys might remember that Harley lent me a CVO ST for a couple months ago. And I was like, new controls are confusing. It only takes a few minutes. You know, like I was going down the highway. Now, mind you, I had screwed up my screen pressing buttons like crazy. But other than me accidentally hitting the Siri button here a lot instead of the turn signal, these are pretty quick to figure out. Not that big of a deal. So I love the lack of the big old ignition anymore. This one now, to start them, if the fob's with the bike, I mean, you have a 4-clock, but if you don't use it, it's just kill switch and then tap it one more time and it starts the bike. You don't even hold it, you just tap it. So that's the startup procedure now. Put her in neutral, don't lock the forks and drive off, ask me how I know. Click on kill switch, click start, done. That's the new startup procedure. So I also love that this is not a VVT. Not that I don't like VVTs, but I have some plans that I'm already planning on to get into the bottom end of this motor, and I wouldn't want to do that on a VVT. So the fact that this is a 117 cubic inch Milwaukee 8 liquid cooled, very similar to the 114 liquid cooled bike I used to have that then became the 131. I like that they did not throw the baby out with the bathwater. You know, and you can still, if you're used to M8 bikes, you're mostly there, you know. The new bags, they match the shape of the tank, which I freaking love, by the way. I love this new shape. It's just, I don't know, it's more modern, sleek looking. The bags actually do match, you know, so kind of get that. Look at the top of the lid. They are bigger. You know, like, it's a little bit bigger bag for sure. I was actually already thinking, you know, the whole shot bags that are on here, these guys, these like, you know, performance battery style, they fit with a stock fairing. You can get Whiskey Fire whole shots and put them on one of these bikes. You can do a whole Dominator, all that stuff, but I don't know if I want to give up the space. I haven't decided, you know. You notice the grab strap's already gone. Like, I got home and pulled that. I still have to get the brackets off, but I took the seat off to do that CarPlay update, and I was like, well, that's going in the trash already, because I can't stand grab straps. That's a side note, but as far as upgrades, we're going to do a lot. We already are. I feel like they're less necessary than previous years, to be honest, but we're going to do a lot. I mean, like, I like these wheels. Those are really cool for a stock wheel, but I'm not sure that they're going to stay. Chrome forks, I can't seem to find any just yet, so I don't know if there's a difference in there, but we'll probably do that. Lighting, I don't know. Eventually, we'll see. I kind of wonder. I know they make the Shark Demon for this, the same one that's on my Road King over there. That might be kind of cool. We'll see. Audio, we got to figure something out. We'll do custom paint and stuff eventually, but I really like this color. I'm playing with the idea of some JH Choppers custom 3-dimensional logos. I'm playing with that. This isn't bad, but you know, a nice big bar and shield might be cool. We're going to have to do an air cleaner. We're going to get into the cam chest. We're going to have to do exhaust. We're going to have to delete this, the tongue on the back. You know, little stuff like that. I'm going to actually just steal the quick release stuff. So this fits, by the way. This is, my wife doesn't run a tour pack or a backrest pad or any of that stuff. So I'm going to just steal that docking hardware and throw it on there, because we are going to do a tour pack. So the little one can ride it with me. But yeah, I mean, like, I'm absolutely in love with this bike. As a matter of fact, I just walked out and said, told my wife, she's working from home as well, throw on your boots. We're going to lunch. We're riding the bikes. So yeah, any excuse, I can run to the store on it. I do that because I love it that much. But I haven't seen, other than riding the Ozarks, I have not seen a lot of street glides on the social medias yet. And I think, don't assume. I'll tell you right now, I'm not alone in my opinion that the new Batwing is a quantum leap forward. Not the old one's bad. Not at all. I mean, it's classic. Been around since 60-something. Anyway, so the new Batwing is a nice step forward and a really good-looking bike. I like it way more than the new Road Glide. Here's what I'm getting at. You can be a Road Glide guy. I was a Road Glide guy. We still have 2. Used to have 3, right? I have a 1980 Tour Glide, a fixed fairing. I love them. You can be a Road Glide guy who used to be a Street Glide guy, going to get a new bike thinking, well, I'm going to get a new Road Glide. Don't assume. That's my point. If you used to be a Batwing guy, you think the Batwing is better looking like I do than the Road Glide, don't assume I'm just going to go get a Road Glide. Give the Street Glide another chance. Give a Batwing another chance, because you might ride it around and go, I'll be damned if I don't know what's there. That's the way I felt yesterday. Like I rode this bike. I bought this bike having not ridden it. I had ridden the CVO ST. I knew I wanted a 24, and I was like, I just like the look of the Batwing. I'm taking it without even riding it. So I hadn't even ridden this new Batwing until before I bought it, before I rode it home, and I freaking love it, and I'm glad that I made the decision I did, because this is a good-looking bike, and you aren't seeing as many of them. A lot of new Road Glides in the road, not a ton of Batwings. So go look at Street Glide, man. You will not be disappointed. I know it's the holidays, hard time to pull the trigger on a bike, but there's some good deals out there. There's some good inventory out there. Other than Whiskey Fire and Chrome, this was not easy to find. But other than that, the others are there. So if you're interested in a new bike, freaking do it. Pull the trigger, man. You're going to love it. So anyway, shoot all the questions. There's a whole bunch of content we're going to do on this bike. There's a whole bunch of little things we're going to do. And, of course, just get it out on the road. I'm excited to go to lunch now. I'm wondering where the wife is. So shoot all your questions, all right? Love you all to death. Take care of each other. We'll talk real soon. Bye.